Recognizing the member for Kelowna Mission.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Over the weekend, I had the honour of attending an event hosted by Peter Boyd at your independent grocery, raising funds with Maple Rock and the Red Cross for aid efforts in Ukraine. As Peter and I were talking, he spoke of how price-conscious his shoppers have become over the course of the last 6 months in particular, but over the course of the last few years. How they were having to buy less because they simply couldn't afford it. And his efforts to put those less expensive items at the highest seen shelves to help people during this really difficult time. The cost of living is a huge concern, which is why we need, and as the member from Surrey-Fleetwood said, we deserve a strong economic plan now more than ever. A strong economy will have a high rate of economic growth, but BC is predicted to fall from first to third this year in growth. Well, it will also have low and stable inflation, which we all know BC does not have, and it will also have low unemployment. But this is propped up right now by public sector jobs adding $11 billion of cost to the taxpayer every single year in BC. What other aspects of a strong economy should there be? Well, rising exports, improved productivity, increased investment. And this one is interesting because the RBCU provincial forecast has BC right now 6 out of 10 provinces in new investment dollars. It will also have falling government borrowing. So what does a strong economy do? Why do we deserve a strong economy? Well, because it gets higher average incomes with better standards of living, lower unemployment, lower government borrowing, improved public services with higher economic growth leading to higher tax revenues, which enables the government to spend more on public services such as healthcare and education, but without going into further debt. Money can also be spent on protecting the environment. With higher economic growth, a society can devote more resources to promoting recycling, the use of renewable energy. It also promotes investment. Higher investment increases the scope of future economic growth, creating a virtuous cycle of economic growth and investment. A great and strong economy also increases research and development. High economic growth leads to profitability for firms, enabling more spending on research and development. This can lead to technological breakthroughs, such as improved medicine and greener technology. Also, sustained economic growth increases confidence and encourages firms to take risks and innovate. Economic development. The biggest factor for promoting economic development is sustained economic growth. And ultimately, a strong economy creates a decline in absolute poverty. These are the reasons that we don't just want a strong economy, we need a strong economy. And the private sector should be the engine of growth and innovation, while the public sector should create the stable circumstances for these businesses to thrive. But instead, this government is doing the exact opposite and killing businesses with a death of 1,000 cuts through taxation increases, increased uncertainty, increased costs, and increased bureaucracy. Bridget Anderson, the CEO of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade, said, and I quote, "The pandemic has been challenging, especially for small and medium-sized firms struggling with lower sales, increased debt, and higher costs. We believe a long-term economic strategy also needs to focus on tax reform, regulatory policies, and the overall cost of doing business, issues the business community has long championed," end quote. So how is this plan from the NDP the answer to that? There's a lot of planning to plan in the plan, so we've waited 5 years for the NDP government to plan or recycle strategies and statements from before. But where's the action on small and medium-sized businesses? Where's the reduction of red tape? Where is the reduction of taxes? Where is the childcare to support a labor force? How about a housing plan that works to increase business competitiveness? How about, instead of moving in a direction that actually makes sense, We help those businesses in need. Instead,
Thank you, member.
this is taking us to economic oblivion.